So good evening, everybody. So we started object-oriented programming last week, right? So object-oriented programming is really an interesting programming concept. So all companies they do develop enterprise software using object-oriented concept. The concept of object-oriented programming is that we will define our class first. Okay, so we will define a class, a type. A class is a user-defined data type. And once we define our own type, then our next thing is to define objects for each step as many as we need for that type. So as we know that we already know that there are some primitive data types, that is basic data types, integer, float, double, short, long, boolean, right? So these data types contain only one kind of data. For instance, an integer type contains only integer data. It cannot contain integer and float. A float type contains only a decimal point. A boolean type contains only a boolean type, either true or false. Okay? But a class is a combined data type that can contain some integer, some string, some boolean. That is a combination of two or more basic data types. The class can contain. So this is the concept creating our own type. Okay. So the advantage of creating our own type is that when we are able to create our own type, we can compare, we can create instance of that type that is more similar to real life situation. Okay, and then our program development becomes easier. Okay, so last time we talked about class. So a class, let us start with a class. It's a type. A class in general is called a type. And an object is an instance of that type. Okay, an object, every object in this world, so everything in this world is an object. As a human, I am an object. So it's a table, your pen, these are objects, right? So every object has its own characteristics, functionality, or behavior. An object contains two types of things, one some values and some behaviors. That is the features. Like for instance, a pen has some features like its length and its size, its weight, its price. And what should be a behavior of a pen? Should write, right? Should write. Okay. And for instance, a cat is an object. Cat, okay, so it has a size, it has weight, it may have a name, it should have a human age in human year, and then it has some behavior that it can walk, it can make sound, right? Okay, so that means a class contains two things. One for behavior that we use some variables, or either primitive data types or another primitive data types, or like character types or integer types or another object types, and it has some function. Okay, So in another word, if we want to give example of class, that means a class is a blueprint, a class is a model. In other words, we can say that a class is a model. For instance, while developing these buildings, okay, so how the plan started? Before maybe this place was a hill place, or there was a old house or building over here, right? So they plan to build a new building over here. So first they developed an architectural framework, right? So the model, architectural model, right, of this house. That's what is the class. Okay. And for an architectural model, an architect who will design this building, okay, he just sees this building here at that time, right? He has an imagination. He imagines that this building should be like this size. He would have like 2 doors like this way, or maybe 3 doors like this way. He would have how many windows, and the floor will be how many feet up, for instance, like this, right? So then, once the architect develops this model or this architectural framework, right? So that framework could be used to develop as many houses or buildings like this as needed, right? By following one architectural model of a building, right, developers can develop many buildings of same type, right? So every individual building is an object. And the model of the architectural framework is a class. And this building has its own features like door, like windows, lane, wide, height. Okay, these are the features. And it has some functionality. Like, for example, if someone wants to enter in this room, we open the door. Right? Opening door is a function. So these are the example of class and object in real life. Okay? Maybe in an interview question or sometimes people will ask you what is a class. A class is a blueprint or a model of a group of similar objects. And an object is an instance of this model. Then what an object contains? The object contains some value or feature and some method. So same thing that a class contains some variable. That contains the same value for object. And class contains some method. That methods are used to perform the function. Also, that methods are used to communicate each object with method. Each object with each other, or that methods are used to communicate with one object with another. Okay. So classes use methods to define the behavior of each object. Okay. A class is name, in general name or type. So the data fields are called variables. Yeah, last time we discussed about the bank account. The bank account is a class, is a concept. A class is a concept. You can understand a concept. A concept, a class is the main difference between a class and object is that an object is visible or traceable, but a class is not visible or traceable. For instance, if you say vehicle, a vehicle is a name, right? It's a type. You can attach a vehicle. You can attach a concrete vehicle, like a Honda vehicle or car and so once we can create a class, then we can create as many numbers of instances of this class So each of the instance of a class is called an object. The object is the actual implementation of the class. Okay, so last time we ended here, right? So a class, we develop a class circle, and this circle, like for instance, it has radius type is doubled, so this is data field, and class name is class, this is the class, okay, and a class can contain some variables for storing data fields and some methods in order to show its functionality. Okay, so it has good. We ended here from last class. Let's open that program again. Okay, so last time everybody see my screen from back? Okay, so last time we saw this program, right? So in Java, I will show you later in Python class. Okay, this is a Java class. So a class starts with a class keyword. So class keyword must start with a lowercase class. Okay, then followed by a class name. Okay, sometime if you see that there will have some public, P-U-B-L-I-C. So you may see that public. So public means a class that is usable from anywhere, from other side, outside of this application. So by convention in Java, a file can contain only one public class. So this is why I already have in this file I already have a public class. It's called public class circle demo. So this is why it is not allowing me to make another public class in this program. So I can save this class as a public class in another file. That will be fine, okay? But in one class so in Java, by convention, Java allows to have only one public class per file, and the file is saved by the name of the public class. So this class, my public class in this program, my public class name is circle demo. So then the program is saved as circledemo.java. This is the public class, okay? So a class starts with a class keyword, then followed by a class name. Okay, you can give any name. Okay, that name should start with an uppercase character. Okay, then a class is started with a second bracket with an opening bracket, and it ends here. So this is the end of the circle class. Okay, and a class contains some variables. So here variable is radius. Okay, and then it has some methods, like for instance my method over here is get area. This is my method. Okay, this a method can start with a second bracket, an opening bracket, and ends with the another opening closing second bracket. So this is end of the get area. End of the get area method. So how do we know that this is a method? By seeing a pair of parentheses. Whenever we see a pair of parentheses, it is known as a method. Okay, and here this is end of the print circle method. Okay, so here it is end of the print circle method. If you give parentheses, then it means a method. Okay, and this is end of the class. So this is a class, that means what we have developed so far, a model of a circle, a template of a circle. Okay, that means we will know that whenever we create an instance of this circle, okay, so this instance will have a radius and a get area method and a print area method. So that's it. This is a class. Okay. Now once we create a class within our main method, okay, so within our main method we will be able to create an instance of the class. An instance of the class is called an object. So the convention of creating an object is that we need to start with a class name. Class name, then we have to put object name. Object name, then equal to, we need to keep new operator, and then we have to keep the class name with parentheses. This is called the constructor. Okay, this is called the constructor of the class. We will know about constructors soon. Okay, so here we use circle. This is the class name, and C1 is my object name equal to new circle. That means we are creating a circle object or circle instance. Okay, so instance of writing this statement in one line, we can do like this way. So we can do this way. Circle C1. Okay, and then we can do C1 equal to new circle. So instead of writing these two lines individually, these two lines, a combination of these two lines is equivalent to this single line. So that means we can, instead of writing these two statements, we can write one statement that is called class name circle C1 equal to new circle. So it is showing me an error message over here because I cannot keep two object name in one place. I cannot have two objects with same name because I have my object C1 over here. Like I cannot keep C1 again here, so I must rename it or give a different name. So I want to give C2, then it is fine. So I have how many objects over here? I have, and everybody please respond to me. How many objects I have here? Two objects, C1 and C2. And how many class I do have here? Only one class. What is the class name? Circle. Okay. So I will create class only one time. For instance, a class is a model or a template. I need to create the template only once. And when I have my template ready, I can create instances of that template as many as I need. I like to do it only. Okay. So once I create a template or a model, that means a class, then it's easy for me to create an object. To creating an object is one line, right? This is the line I have to create. Okay. So once I create, okay, sorry, I do have multiple stands. Okay, so once I create a class, then I can create any number of objects. Once I create an object, then I will use that object name, for instance, C1. Okay, then as soon as I press on dot, okay, so if then it is showing me, see that on the right side, it is showing me a list of variables and some methods. You see, this one is a variable, and these are methods. Okay. So give an attention to understand what are these. You see at the end on the right side here, some of these shows it is Boolean object. You see the object. Some of this show is showing at the end. It is showing object, and some of this is showing circle. This is the name of the class where it is defined. Circle means this radius is defined within the circle class. And you see the radius, then the clone sign, and the double. Double means its type is double. And then circle means this radius is an element or defined within the circle class. So where is my circle class? If I go, then I have a radius of double type. If I go to my circle class, you see that I have a radius of double type. So this is why it is showing me. So if the pop-up windows goes away, then you can press Control and then space bar. Control and space bar. Then if you press Control and space bar, CTRL plus space bar, then it will come up. Okay. And some of the things at the end, some of the things you will see object. Most of the things you see the object. Object is the parent class of Java program. And convention Java program, all classes in Java by default inherit properties from the object class. Later I will say. Later when you learn about inheritance, you will learn that. By convention, all classes inherit properties from object class. So this is why the object class has some predefined methods that are most commonly used. So for instance, get class, hash code, notify wall. Okay, so these are toString, wait. These are from object class. Okay, so now for instance, let us start, and you see the third one, get area. Okay, get area is defined within circle class. You see that? Get area is defined within circle class. And what we understand from the third one. So get area is a method. Why do I know that it is a method? It has a parenthesis, right? After name, get area, there is a pair of parentheses. So get area, and after that, after the colon, it has void. That means that void is return type. Okay, and then after dash is a circle. That means this get area is defined within the circle class. Okay, and for the get class, so get class is defined, it returns a class type, and it is defined within object class. For instance, toString is a most widely used method that is defined within the object class, and that's the return type is string. Okay, so that's it so far. You don't need to learn anymore so far. Later you will learn about this. Okay, so whenever I have a list, whatever I see in my list after my dot sign, then I have access to these elements. I can use those. So how to use an element of a class? Just using dot operator. So I see that if I select this one, so that means C1 dot radius equal to, I can assign 100. Then what I'm doing here, I'm assigning C1 radius value of the object C1 as 100. Yes, stand for a minute, then we'll. Yeah. Yeah, do some exercise then. You'll be fine. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm assigning the value of radius of C1 class, okay, as 100. Okay, so then the next step, what I'm doing here, I am calling the get area method of for the C1 object, and then I am calling print circle method, okay, print circle method for the C1 object. That's it. Okay, so then if I run this program, so whatever I have in my get area method, it is printing my get area. That means if my area is 100, if I say my area is 100, so then how the area will be calculated, it is saying here. So area equal to 3.14 times radius squared, right? Radius times radius. So whatever my area, it is printing. So now, for instance, if I say this is my return type, void, right? Void means return type. That means it cannot return anything. When we discuss about method, we discuss about return type, right? For instance, I can have a different return type. For instance, I can have my return type over here double. If I have my return type double, then it is showing me an error message, right? What it is showing, that it is in the two quick fixes, it shows add return statement. Whatever I need to add, so you see, if I have any return type, valid return type, then I need to return a value of that type. So my area is returning over here. So then what I can do, if I have a return type, then I can use that return statement or that method as a that kind of variable. So then still this program will run and it will do same thing for now. But later you will see, if I have return type, then I can do something else. For instance, now when I call, you see that I have changed my return type of get area method from void to double, right? So if I have my return type void, that means I will not have any return statement. Okay. So now if I see that if I call C1 dot, you see the difference here is get area. Previously it was void, right? Now it has get area double. Get area is showing the double. Okay, but for the print circle method, it has return type void. Okay. Okay. So far, any question about class and how to create an object of the class? Yes. Do you have any question?
When you went down and you called the method, is it different in C#?
No, in C# it is same.
It's just dot radius equals.
C# it is same. In Java, defining a class is a little bit different. In Python, but C# and Java it is same. We use dot operator. Okay, use dot operator. Dot means in preposition of. That means radius of C1. We will read this way, from right to left. We will say radius of C1 equal to 100. Okay, so for instance here, by this statement, what we are doing, we are assigning the value of radius to 100. But you see that if we do not assign it, then still my program will work with the default value of radius 10, right? So that means if when we declare or when we make a class, we can assign some predefined value. So later we can replace this predefined value, like this is the default value or predefined value. Okay, so radius equal to 10. You see, it is not my responsibility to like do as a policing. I am not a police. Okay, I am not a security person that I will catch everybody who is watching your phone and will bring from here to there. It is not my responsibility. I am requesting you, if you do not like this class, go away. Go outside of this class, okay? If you have something emergency, if you need to watch something, a movie or something, or you need to do social working, go outside and do that. But if you stay in my class, you have to pay attention. I don't like to catch everybody and move here to there, okay? It does not look good, I know that. But what I want to do for the long run, for long interest, okay? So for the momently, for now, you will not like me. But for long run, in the long run, definitely you will remember me. If you want to stay in IT job or in this field, definitely you need to use this concept whole way from your beginning of your job interview to your last hours. You have to use this concept. So if you do not understand this, how you will work, how you will be successful in the study. You will blame us that you took this class but you did not understand the basic concept. This class is not a class that you will come here and you will watch your phone. So here, so what I have done here, so I have predefined radius, value 10, okay? So then if I have predefined radius value, and then if I use this value, so then all circle object I will create will have same radius, 10. Okay? But that is not a good way. You see this all circle object for circle C1 and C2, all circle object, I have same area and circumference. But that is not a good thing, right? So I need to assign my own radius, whatever I need. So this is the way that I will keep it unassigned. I will just declare it, its type with its type, and I will keep it unassigned. So then if I keep it unassigned, so then by default in Java, in double type we will take 0.0. So this is why area is coming 0, circumference is coming 0. Now what I need to do, whenever I create a circle object, I need to assign its radius. If I want to assign its radius as 1, then I will do, so for instance, C1.radius equal to 1, then C1.getArea will be this, and still for C2 I have, let us see the output. Okay, can anybody help me to explain this? What is the difference between you see that I have same program code, right? I have same program code. For the first two lines, it is showing me area equal to 3.14, and this line it is showing me, line number 31, it is showing me circumference equal to 6.28. But for the circle 2, okay, so C2 object, it is showing me area equal to 0 and circumference equal to 0. Why? Okay, so every object, when you create an object, every object will be this one. distinct from class. Okay, so when we create a class, that means we create a template. Okay, and then when we create an object, every object takes different place in memory. So for instance, this will be my C1 object and this will be my C2 object. Okay, so then this is why you have to reassign value of every object. Yes. In Python? Yeah, I can show it. So let us understand this way. So you understand so far? So this is why, as I do not have assigned my radius value for C2, this is why it is showing, it is taking by default 0 radius for C2. Okay, so then I have to do, for instance, C2 dot radius equal to, for instance, 10, if I say. Then if I run this program again, then it will show me my expected result. Okay, that expected result is, for instance, for C1 radius equal to 1, so area was 3.14, and for C2 radius equal to 10, so the area will be 314. Is clear? So whatever we learn, every object is distinct. Every object is created for a class is distinct and individual, independent. This is why we need to assign value. Okay? For every object. For instance, as a human being, right? Human is a class. Right? So as a human, I am a human being. And you are a human being, and you are a human being, you are a human being, right? So as a human being, human is a class. And as a human being, we, everyone, us here, is an individual object. Human, right? So I am different than you, and you are different than me, right? And you are different than me, right? So everybody has a different attitudes and different names, different age. But we may have some common characteristics, right? We have some common characteristics, but we have some different characteristics. So this is the notation of defining class and object in Java. So anybody has any question so far? Okay, in Python it is a little bit different. So in Python, do I have my program in Python? CSE1321. Okay. So in Python, it starts with a class keyword and then followed by a class name, and it ends with a semicolon. In Java, we saw that it starts with a what is that called? Brace, right? Curly brace, right? Opening curly brace. But in Python, it starts with a colon, and in Python we do not use any curly brace. So instead we use indentation, that is space. Okay, so this is different space. Okay, so this is R. So then R, instead of R, so we are assigning, for instance, value 1. It's okay, integer 1, we can assign default. And this is the init constructor in Python. It's init method is the constructor. Okay, in Java and C#, we have the constructor name is same name as the class name, but in Python we have init method with this starting from to, what is that called, to underscore method,
and then init, and after to underscore method. And in Python it has self. This is the first argument, it is called self, and then radius is the second argument. Then instead of radius, actually this is the radius. So this is the radius. So this is called self dot radius equal to radius. Okay, and then if I want to find area, then in Python we need at least one argument, that is called self argument. How many of you are taking Python? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A few, okay? So Python is different in class, okay? So then we define a method with a keyword def, and then the header line ends with a semicolon, with a colon, and then we use another indentation. Okay, so then it's another area, another method is over here. So it's area. It's either say I can say area, or I can say calculate area, whatever I say. Okay, and then I am measuring the area equal to, for instance, I have another variable area here. Okay, so area equal to 3.14 times self dot radius times self dot radius, and then this is my end of my area method, and here I am creating object. So I am creating C1 equal to circle. I do not need, can I use new over here? In Java, in Python there is no new keyword. Okay, so you don't need any new. Okay, so then only the circle name, and within the circle you are giving the value of this parameter. What is this parameter name? Radius here, right? So you are giving the value of the circle radius. So that you say the C1 dot area, then it will print the area. So you'll say the area of the circle with radius 10 will be 314, and if you make the change in the radius from 10 to 1, you will see the different result. So in Python, that by default is the first argument you have to use self. Self, you can use self or any name you can give. Either see me, or either see you can see if you can me or something. You can use same thing, but this is by convention. So if you give me, then you will have to give me, then it will work. But although it is showing an error message, it should work, because it is expecting that first, by convention, the first parameter in Python is called self. Python is different than other programming language. Okay, so this is why this program is running, but it is showing me an error message. What is the error message? It's showing the area circle should have a self as the first parameter. It says self should be a first parameter, but instead of self I get me. So this program is working, but it is showing an error. So then if I give self, then it will be happy. This is the up, there is nothing, no more. This is the entire program is here. Take a picture, or I will. Oh, I'm done. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Okay. I think if you browse this, there's a good website. It's called www.h3schools. You see, if you go to this website, who are taking Python, class, if you go to this website, W3 Schools, and then w3schools.com, and then go Python, and then if you see Python has some these are very short description, but with short description it has examples. So go to this site and to learn the basic concept of Python or very quickly. So we are taking Python class. Has anyone any question? Okay, so if you don't have any question, then I will move back to my next slide. Okay, so this slide says the pseudocode. It has the pseudocode that it says class circle, and then in class, and then begin. Okay, and then it says radius 1.0 is method circle, and this is the beginning of the method, and this end method. Okay, so this is called actually default constructor. There's nothing empty. Actually, this is empty. Okay, so I'm going about constructor. Okay. And it has another constructor, okay, and then it has another constructor, in this constructor, and it has the method area, and it is end of this area. So whatever is class contains, a class contains two things: some variables and some methods. That's it. Class contains at least one variable and at least one method. The methods are used to operate on those variables. So this is Java. That I just showed you. I think this is Python. Okay. So C sharp. Okay, so what is the difference? I don't see any difference here. C sharp, and this is the Python. Okay, this is the convention. For instance, you create here this create circle. This is a constructor, and this is circle one will be an object. Okay, one thing that we are now calling object. Object, whenever our type is immediate type, then we call variable. And instead of saying the immediate type is called variable. For instance, when I say x, then x is a variable. And when it say in the circle x. The circle x will be an object, yes. So when our type is a class, then we call that instance as an object. When we have our type built-in type, then we will call that as a variable. Okay. So here circle and circle 1 and circle 2, these are called objects. Because an object contains combination of variable and method, right? But an integer type or a fluid type or Boolean type that cannot contain any method, only value. So if you say integer x, that means x will contain an integer type, nothing else, right? But if you say circle x, and x contains an integer, it may contain an integer radius, and it may have some method. Do you understand the difference between the variable and object?
Here I will come back to about constructor. So let's see how many slides we have. Yeah. So all this about surface class I can explain. Okay, so this is visibility of a class content. I will come here to public and private. Okay, I will explain this in the program. Okay. So if a member of a class is public, then it can be visible from outside. For instance, our public link, we have some public information that we allow everybody to know that. Right? That is called public information, and we have some private information that we do not want to explore that information publicly. Right? That is called private information. For instance, our social security. We don't want everybody to know that. That's our banking. So by making some instance private, we just exclude that behavior from outside. So whenever you have some private information, that are the visibility are restricted. Information means we have some private information, those information are restricted, right? We have some private public information that are available. So we will see how can we do that and I will show you the program. Let me see how many. Yes, so I will extend it. Okay. It's called modifier, public, private. Okay, so modifier. So yeah, I will explain this in the program, and then you will go through this slide, and then you understand. We see how many slides we have. Okay. The major thing that we have to explain here, visibility. Okay, visibility and accessibility. It's called visibility or accessibility. Let me come to this slide.
Just in order to save some space, I am just I'm deleting some space, okay, extra space, so that you can see the program in one place. So I don't need this part, right? I can delete this, right? I can delete this line, and maybe instead of these two lines, I can keep only this one line. So if I press Control and then /, then this comment will go out, and so it is showing me an error message. Can anybody tell me why I'm getting this error message? It says duplicate local variable C1. Because I have already defined C1 here, right? And I'm going to define another C1. So this is why it is showing me an error message, right? So I don't need this line. Okay. Okay, so later I will come back about constructor. Actually, this is the constructor. I will come back here. Okay, I don't need this line, so I can delete this line. Let us understand this way. Okay. I want to show the entire program at a time. Is it visible to you? Okay, you see the entire program at a time, right? Okay, that's good. Okay, so here my class is a default class. So there are 4 kinds of visibility in Java. One is private, public, protected, and default. So if you do not give anything, that means it is default. Okay, I will tell you about default. Default means it is default. It is accessible to package level. Package means family. Here, for instance, here I have created a package. Name is called, what is my, actually this program is here, 21 review. This program is here. This program package name is OOP. You see the object oriented programming package, and that means this class, if I do not say anything about visibility, then that is default. That is default visibility. Default visibility or accessibility. Okay, default is not a keyword, so we do not need to write default, but it is default. So once you say default, you do not say anything, then it's default. And then there are 2 other types, private and public. Okay, so if I say public, then for now I don't have any problem. Okay, so for instance, this is the public. So that means this radius is, if I say public, this radius will be accessible from outside this program, outside this package, outside this project. So for instance, I am saving my program within a project, right? Someone have access, or if I have another project, for instance, I do have this is a project, this is another project, this is another project. If I have my public accessibility, this radius, then I will be able to, you see, this circle class is within the, look at the top line please, read the top line please, CSE1321 review. This is my package name. You see that read name? This is my project name, and within this project I have SRC package folder, and within this SRC folder I have OOP package name, and then I have my circle demo.java class. This is my circle demo.java class. Every Java class program is saved within a program, within a file that is called the public class, that we have to name that class as a public class. Okay, and then whatever you give the public class name, the file is saved within that name with a Java extension. So my class name, public class name is circle demo. So then this file is saved as circle demo.java. You see at the top? You see at the top, circle demo.java, because I gave the name circle demo of this my public class. This is why. Okay, so how many classes do I have here in this program? 2 classes, right? Okay, by convention, 1 per file. One file can contain only 1 public class. Okay, so for instance, a family has only one head, right? One family head. Either father or mother, or in combination of parents, right? If you have 2 like dominating people in a family, then there will be chaos. So same thing. Okay, so you cannot have 2 public classes in a file. So this means I cannot say public class circle and public class circle demo. Okay, so this is why it is showing me error. Okay, now the interesting thing is that come here. I say my public radius is public. Then where is my radius class defined? Radius variable defined. In which class? Circle class, right? So if I have defined as a circle class, as a public, then you see that I can access as a c1.radius, I can access from another class. But if I say this is private. You see that I'm getting an error on line number 17. Line number 17 says I do not have access to the radius. It says the field circle dot radius. That means radius of circle. Read that that means it is not visible, not accessible. Some authors say visibility, or some people say accessibility. It can be okay. So what do you understand from this error method? Okay, that means says radius of field circle dot radius is not visible. That means the reason is that circle, okay, the circle classes radius value is private, so I cannot use it directly. Okay, so there are two options over here. It says the options are there are two quick fixes available. One is the change visibility of the circle to package. Okay, or package, that means I want to make it default. Package means then the width is visible here. Okay, or there is another way that I can make it public. Then it is fine. Or there is another way I can create getter and setter. You see that there was another thing. It is showing me another option. Create create getter and setter for radius. Okay, we will learn about getter and setter later. Okay. So that means what we have learned from here? So if a member is private, then that member cannot be visible from outside of this class. Okay? Because my radius is within the circle class, so since it is a private, so I cannot access it from my demo class. Even these are on same file. Okay? Okay, so then let me make it default, and if I say, okay, so print area is private. Okay, so then again I have same problem. So once I say private double print area, then I am getting another error on line number 18, right? What is my error message here? The method get area. The method get area from the type circle is not visible. Why? What does this mean? Yes. That means the type get area method has an accessibility mode that is not visible from outside. What is that accessibility mode? Private, right? So now you understand the difference between private and public.
But didn't it give you the option for setter and getter?
No, setter and getter you calculate for one from variable. This is that. Setter and getter for only variable. Okay, so now I don't have access here. Okay, so now I don't have access over here, so I can delete this one. So, but there is another way that I can call. So tell me something about someone. Can I call this get area method here? How about line number 10? Will this work? Line number 10. Will this work?
No.
Why no? Why do you say no?
Because you haven't, that's not a way.
Okay, the get area method is defined as a private, right? Which is which class? This is circle class, and I am calling this same class.
Yeah.
Okay, so like for example, I have secret, something secret in my mind. Do I know that? Know that, right? Can I write that down?
Yeah.
Yes. Can I speak that loudly? Yes. That means I have, although I have my gate area method in line number 4, private, right? Then I can call it with the same method, no problem. This is the calling. Okay, it's called accessibility. Some people will say visibility. Okay, do not confuse same word. Accessibility or visibility, same thing. Okay. Okay, and what is the visibility here for the my get private, right? Private visibility. And what is the visibility of my, if you say public? Public visibility. Okay, so this will make an error. So I will get same result. Okay, I will get same result because I am calling my get area method at the beginning of print circumference method. So now we understand something basic about the private and public visibility. So it's a method or a field has private visibility. That means you cannot access that outside of the field. You cannot access from outside. And if you have default, then you can use within same package. Okay, and if you have public, then you can access it from anywhere. Okay, so one only. And here you see, this is the method we see every class. So now let us learn about constructor. Okay, so every class, when we create an object of a class, by default we call the constructor of the method. Okay, so a constructor must be a public method. Public, and the constructor has a name of same name of the class name. A constructor has a name exactly same as its class name. Okay, so when we create an object of a class, we always call this constructor, use this constructor. Okay, even we do not have any constructor, by default this is the default constructor. By default constructor, this is the default constructor. Okay, so even we do not define a constructor explicitly, all programming languages they use a default constructor. Okay, so then if my program will run, and if I have something like, for instance, if I print something over here, so default constructor, a constructor is called every time we create an object of this class. If you see, if we run this program, you see that I have my default constructor called 2 times. Every time I create an object, we call the constructor. Constructor is invoked automatically. You see that even a constructor is not called explicitly. A constructor is called implicitly and indirectly. Okay, so not directly, indirectly. So I can have multiple constructors, but if I do not have any constructor, that is called empty constructor. This is called empty constructor. Okay, by default constructor it says empty constructor. Default constructor has no body. This says empty. Every method, every class has a default constructor or empty constructor. Okay, that constructor is called
when we create an object of that class. Next time we will learn more about constructor. Okay, a class may have multiple constructors. Okay, so even we do not explicitly define any constructor, there is a default constructor. So anybody has any question so far? Yes. Yes, in Python we have a constructor as well, private constructor. No. Constructor will always be public. Constructor will always be public. Okay, so by default, you see, even if see, let me see. Can I do default constructor? Even we see that you cannot have a private constructor. Let me see if I can have. Okay, so error over here, so I cannot have a private constructor. It is showing me an error. Constructor have not a private. So what is your question? Okay, so in Python, let me come here to Python. Python, this is the default constructor. If I have this init self I cannot have this. Oh. So Python does not allow constructor? I will see next. I need to do some study and research about this. I don't work with Python more. We'll discuss about constructor in next class, okay? I mean Python. Thank you so much. So please read the entire PowerPoint slide, okay? If you have any question, please come to next class. Bring that in next class, okay? Your next text will be on this chapter, okay? Test 3 will be completely on this chapter. Thank you.
I didn't see the mustard sheet on the 16th, but I was tested. That was the test day.
Then why didn't you sign on?
Because I didn't see the mustard.
Everybody signed one.
I didn't see it. It didn't get back to me. I didn't see it. I only missed this day, and I have